family. Today is Wednesday, the 5th of November, and I'm getting ready to do Kitchen Chronicles number 3. On this Kitchen Chronicle number 3, we're going to call this one, Tina, what you cooking for dinner? Now, this is what I'm cooking for dinner, family. Now, it's not going to be like the other, like, cooking tutorials and stuff that I do, like, you know, and I'm just, you know, behind the scenes and you guys can't see me and all you guys see is my hands and the utensils and the food and the pot and all that. We're not going to do it like that. Instead, you guys are going to see me cooking. Not full body, nothing like that. Just, you know what I mean? Instead of getting, like in front of the camera, you're getting a little bit kind of behind, but it's going to be kind of like both. You know what I'm saying? So I will show you guys some in the pot, and then I'm going to show you guys out of the pot. Then I'm just going to show you guys me cooking and stuff like that. Just like right now, before we get started, I have to increase my cheese. You guys know that I have to cut on every burner in my kitchen before I get started cooking in my kitchen. And also I have to start me some bleachy water before I start cooking. So, in this particular video, hold on, let me see. Is somebody here? No. Okay. I thought somebody was here. But, so anyway, this is what we're cooking for dinner today. You ready to know what we're cooking? Okay, we're getting ready to fry up some chicken. Now, I bought the chicken grill pack. So we got to cut those leg quarters up because I think it has 2 leg quarters in there and 2 breasts in there. I think. Something like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to detach the leg and the thigh, and we're going to cut up some of that breast a little bit because my kids don't like that chunky meat like that, nor do they like white meat. So then therefore I have to kind of cut that up a little bit. So we're going to do that, and we're going to make some smothered potatoes, but the smothered cheesy potatoes, and we're going to make some fried cabbage. So without further ado, my cheese getting started. Let me get my water going. Family, y'all rolling with me. Tina, what you cooking for dinner? We getting ready to get down, baby. Let's go. Holla! On our griller pack, it actually has 3 leg quarters in here. So, I guess that kind of makes it pretty good. But this is what I'm doing, family. Okay. This is behind the scenes stuff, so it's not gonna be not gonna be as formal as it is when I'm cooking a regular cooking video. Nonetheless, this is my cooking board. Okay, when they fabricated my granite, they just simply made me a cooking board that's identical to the cooktop itself. So now you guys see that it's actually a cooking board that I also use sometime, but not all the time either. Because even if I'm not using my cooking board, you know, I'm constantly wiping and stuff with bleach and stuff. So either way, I know that we're working on a clean surface. So anyway, we're just simply detaching the legs from the thighs. Now, one thing about this, when you buy leg quarters and stuff, they do have a breastbone connected on there. Now, you can cut this breastbone off if you have a meat cleaver or a sharp enough knife. But if you don't, then just go in there and clean out all of this and then just roll with it like that. Now, see me, I like fattening stuff, so I ain't tripping. You know, by the time I put this in that canola oil and fry it and put all that flour and shit on, it's going to be all right, so we're not going to worry about that. But anyway, at any rate, this is how that go. So let's just take our time and just start getting these guys kind of disconnected here. I know y'all probably say, she be working with that left hand. I'm a lefty. But it's all right. I know what to do. I forgot to show you guys something before I cut the leg off. I wanted to show you guys that when you're cutting up a leg from a thigh, it's going to be like an indentation right there in the joint. I should have showed it to you guys before I cut it, but it'll be like an indentation right there, and you know that it's like a joint right there, and when you cut it, it'll come out smoothly. You see how that looks? See if you guys can see it a little bit closer. But anyway, it's the cut is real clean because I cut it in that joint. So that's how you do that. Now, when we're doing this chicken breast, I like to cut it from this end because then therefore it won't slide off, the knife won't slide away from my skin of my chicken. So I turn it this way, and I'm just cutting it in random pieces or strips. Just the fact that my kids just don't really dig white meat, so it's like I gotta thin this out a little bit. Okay, remember a few minutes ago I was telling you guys about the leg and the thigh and the indention. Well, being that I'm cooking 2 griller packs on my second pack, I'm just going to show you guys. Now, there's an indention here right there between the joint. You can actually feel it in there. Once you find that joint, when you cut it, it comes out smooth. You see? You see what I'm talking about? Can you see it really good and clear? When you cut it right between that joint, it's going to look just like that. That means you cut it properly. The chicken has been washed. Now we're just going to season it. Now, I simply use garlic powder, seasoning salt, Lorry seasoning salt, because it is a difference. I don't like seasoning all. Let me just go and say that. And ground black pepper. And so what I do, especially when I'm seasoning up like this much chicken right here, because I'm not going to cook for the next couple of days, but I open up I take the whole thing off because it gives me a little bit more coverage and more room to work with when I'm seasoning up my chicken. Now, if it's hard for you to gauge it, then of course you're going to use the shifter that's on the lid. But if not, if you know you can handle it, then you do it like your auntie do it. Just like this right here. Girls, whenever you are cooking in your kitchen, you want to have the opposite side of the sink filled with just, well, like maybe halfway with just a nice hot, bleachy, soapy water. So then therefore you can wash things down and wash down your countertop and sanitize things. And especially when you're cooking chicken, you know, you have a salmonella risk and all that other kind of stuff, and you don't really want to cross contaminating things. So we got the bleachy hot water going right here. We getting ready to wash this up. We seasoned up our chicken already, but it's a little early, so we're gonna start on everything else and just put our chicken in this container and put it in the refrigerator until we're ready for it. Auntie, how can I tell if my chicken is seasoned up good enough? Well, the way you can tell that your chicken is seasoned up, girls, is you'll be able to look at it. You see all the seasoning all in this chicken? And see, when you season up your chicken before time and put it in the refrigerator and let it settle for a little bit, what it does is the seasonings get down to the bone. So that's when people is eating your food and they sucking the bone out and the marrow and all that. That means that the meat's been seasoned up real good and it's been sitting for a while. You put it in the refrigerator so then therefore it stay cold. But the seasoning will be bomb if you let it sit up for a minute. That's all I got to say. In your sink, now that my sink is back empty, I still have my bleach water on my right. But right here on my left, I have my catch-all trash bags. Now, you guys know from the beginning, I've been telling you guys, whenever you are cooking, you got to have trash bag. Just have a bag sitting in your sink, because if you sit it in your sink, a lot of times, these cellophane bags and stuff, they have holes in the bottom. That's why this one is double bagged like that, because this one has a hole in it, and this one don't. So then therefore I double bag it. I put it in the sink in case there's any runoff, but all while I'm cooking. And you use those cans, like if you're making cream corn and peas and shit like that, then what you do is you have your bag here and then you just put all your trash in the bag. You making rice-a-roni, you put your boxes in the bag, the seasoning packets in the bag. Whatever you're using goes in this bag, and it keeps the rest of your area clean. Family, I'm beginning to stage my cookware as what I'm going to use to cook on today. And I wanted to show you guys some things and kind of, you know, put some things into perspective, because a lot of people don't know the difference. Now, this, my friend, is a skillet. Okay? Skillets bow out. There's no lid on skillets. Okay? This is an all and out skillet. This is a fryer. Okay, this is what this is. This is a skillet. This, my friend, you see this one? It looks like a skillet. It has a long handle like a skillet. It also has a lid, but this is called a saucepan. Okay, this is the saucepan. Anytime there's a lid to it like this, it is a saucepan. Now, this one here is my absolute favorite. Now, this is between a pot and a saucepan. Okay? It's still considered as a saucepan though, but it's between a pot because look at the depth. It has a long handle. It has the clear lid like the rest. Now, the cookware that I use that I love, love, love is Food Network cookware. I got this cookware from Kohl's. Now, I bought this piece separate. No, this came with the set. I bought this saucepan here separate. This didn't come in the 10-piece. Now, there was a 10-piece. I think the 10-piece was like $2.99, something like that. I had a 20% coupon. I had a $10 coupon. After it was all said and done, I was winning. I don't know what I paid, but either way, and at any rate, I've been having this now. You guys know for a few years now. I've been having this cookware since I got it Christmas time of 2008. And it's still in very, very good condition. My dogs are eating in their bowls, so if you guys hear some scratching, that's the dogs eating out of their dog bowls. But now, yes, it does have this. I don't know what to do. Now, I did buy that bartender's friend or something like that, baker's friend or something. It didn't really work. So this one here has it. This one here, not so much. But this is my favorite, and I use this for everything. This is one of those that you use and you don't have to use nothing else, like when you're making hamburger helper and everything, as in all-in-one thing. This is the bomb. We're getting ready to start frying our cabbage, but we're going to get the bacon ready. Now, what I do is I just take any bacon, cheap bacon, don't matter what kind, Farmer John, Hoffy, Oscar Mayer, whichever one you want to roll with. I got this all on base, and I think I got it on base for like $1.89 or something like that. It was a really, really good price for it. And so I use bacon for my baked beans. I use bacon for my string beans and potatoes. I use it for fried cabbage. That's what I primarily use it. And of course, BLTs. So I just simply cut this in half. Now, you can cut it a couple times besides just cutting it in half, because you can go a step further and cut it here and cut it here. We don't need to do all that. Just cut it one time and that's good, because it's going to still break up as it's cooking anyway. But we still just wanted to, you know, cut it in half. That's just the way that I do. That's how I roll. Okay, family, the key to frying good bacon, and you don't want the bacon to burn, let me give you a good tip. Quick one. Whenever you're cooking bacon, you want to always start your bacon off in a cool skillet. This skillet is just, I just simply rinsed it off. Actually, didn't I call it a skillet and I told you a while ago it was a saucepan? Okay, it's a saucepan, okay? But you know, the Compton in me want to say skillet. Anyway, but it's a saucepan. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the bacon in the saucepan cold, without no heat on it whatsoever. So when you frying your bacon, all of it come out golden and even, and there's no burnt spots on it, and it's nice and evenly brown. Bomb. Family, I have this bacon frying at a 4.0 right now, and you see I'm using a spoon with holes in it. Actually, it's a colander spoon with a hose in it. Tomato, same sense. It's turning over my bacon. That's what I'm using it for. Holla. While our bacon is frying over there, we're going to begin to cut up our cabbage. Now, we got two small heads here. This is just regular green. You can mix green with the red. Some people call it red, some people call it purple. My mama called it red. Nonetheless, you can put both of them together. Put one red, one green, two red. Either way, you're going to still cook it the same way. But what I do is I just simply, you know, cut it in random. You know, I don't like really, really big pieces that you have to damn near cut, you know, while you're eating it. So, and I just cut it away from the rind, something to that effect, and then I'll toss this part away. Here, I'll just simply cut this guy here in half so he won't be so big. Now, these big stems, I'll just kind of break that off a little bit because I still want all this good meat here. I know it ain't, but that's just what I call it. So anyway, so I'm gonna do this same one, and we're gonna put it in the bacon and in the bacon grease. In the meat. In the bacon and in the bacon drippings, we're just gonna put our cabbage inside of the saucepan. Inside of our cabbage, I like to also put onion. Now we ain't got but 3, so check this out. We're also making smothered cheddar potatoes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make all 3 of these work. We're gonna use 1.5 cabbage, and we're gonna use 1.5 potatoes. So it doesn't have to be cut up no particular way. So because they're gonna be cooked down anyway. So let's just do it like this. Bam, that's it. To season up our cabbage, what we're simply doing is we're going to add black pepper, Lawry's seasoning salt, now be mindful that cabbage makes its own juice, so you ain't got to worry about it. And then we're going to just sparingly throw a little bit of onion in there. 2 more. Put 1 on that side and perhaps 1 even over there. And we're going to put just a dab of sugar, just a little bit to caramelize it a little bit. To caramelize the cabbage a little bit, we just use a little bit of sugar. I know some of y'all probably freaking out, but that's what give it its taste. I'm telling you, that make it bomb. All over is fine. You want to take white distilled vinegar and pour a little bit of that in there, just a little bit. Just a couple of little drops all around it is good enough. I know it's splashing all everywhere, but it's okay. Now, I'm just simply flipping this over. If you guys see how I'm doing that, you just flipping it. You just flipping it. Because you want that cabbage to sear a little bit. See, that's how my family likes it. We like ours a little burn a little bit, little dark spots on the cabbage. That's when it's real good. That's the way we like ours. You cook yours like how you want to. This is how we do ours, though. Okay, now, you guys know I'm a big advocate for frying. That's all I know is frying. I like baked chicken and stuff like that, but it's just not the same as frying. But I found that if I'm going to fry, I need to use the best oil possible. And the best possible oil, in my opinion, to use is canola oil. Now, I buy this one right here. I think it's about 35 pounds when it's full all the way. And I get this from Smart and Final. I don't know if you guys have Smart and Final in you guys' area, but here in Southern California, we do. And it's like about $26.99. Sometimes you can catch it on sale for $22.99, but when it's not on sale, I think it's about $26.99. And I bought this, I think I want to say August, the beginning of August is when I bought this, and it's lasted all this time. So, you know, once I buy it, I don't want to have to keep buying it. So you could buy the little 48-ounce ones if you choose to, if that's what your budget allows. Or if you got the room and space and the budget to go ahead on and buy a big one and you ain't got to keep running back to the stove, then get what you need one time. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to pour this canola oil in here. I got it on 4.5. So we're going to allow that to heat up a little bit. Girls, you want in your kitchen a spoon rest. Now this, I believe I got it from a yard sale or Goodwill or something. And you want to have one of these or a couple of these in your kitchen. And this is actually cast iron, so it's really solid, but it has like a rubber stopper or something on there so it won't, you know, hurt your surface. But you want a spoon rest because it will keep your countertop from being nasty from, you know, gravies and drippings off of your spoons and whatnot. But if you put it on your spoon rest like that, it just keeps everything tidy and clean. Also, too, turn your handles away from the outside of your cooking area to keep your babies or anything like that from pulling and tugging at these. So turn them this way, safety first. Okay, we're checking on our cabbage here. And also one thing to also keep in mind too, now this spoon that I'm using for this cabbage, it has, you know, of course the seasoning of this, and it had vinegar and all that. So of course when I'm making my my smothered potatoes, I'm gonna just use me a whole different spoon or spatula as opposed to using the same one, because I just don't like to blend the flavors that way. But anyway, as you can see, it makes its own juices. I don't know if you guys can actually see inside of the saucepan here, but it actually makes its own juices, cabbage does, you know. So I guess it has a high water content in it or whatever have you, but so we're gonna fry this down, and I like to caramelize it a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna let that do what it's doing. It's on 3.5. We're gonna keep the lid on it, and we're gonna let it continue doing what it's doing. One way to figure out whether or not your grease is hot enough, just take a little bit of flour and do a couple of those little numbers right there. It's not hot enough because otherwise it will boil. It's not hot enough. Let's try it again and see if it's ready. You see that? It floats and it bubbles up like a boil. Well, it's actually just frying, so. But nonetheless, you see what it does. That means it's ready. It's hot. It's on 2.4. Let's put it on. Auntie, what's in your refrigerator? Check it out. Take a look at what's in my box. It's a mess. I know. But take a look at it. Mayhem. All kinds of stuff in there. I couldn't find the lid to this, so I improvised like my mama used to do. I just covered it in the plastic. I put the whole thing inside the plastic bag. Still got a little ventilation hole, but we ain't tripping. But still, it's seasoned up, and I bet it be bomb.